Hello, and welcome to Around the Arena. We are on episode 7 now of the show. I am your host, Zachary Kennedy, and let's get started. So last week we talked about the women's rugby team. I hinted at possibly doing the swimming and diving team, the gymnastics team, the tennis team, and the team that I decided to focus on for episode 7 is the men's track and field team. So, as we always start off the podcast, I just like to get the names out there. Some people's friends, some people's peers in class are on these teams. And I like to get the rosters out there just for everyone to hear some names here. So, for Colin Althoff is our starter. He's a junior. Michael Awurumbi, he's a sophomore. David Burnshaw. We have Ralph Casper. In sprints, we have Zaire Chapman, distance runner Amir Kubij, Junior Default, Joshua Eng, Nicholas Falsone, Joshua Farrell, distance runner Sean Fisher. In sprints, we have Orion Frazier. In throws, we have Anthony Futrick. We have Deshaun Jacobs, who's a freshman. We have Sammy Jenkins. We have Dennis Kamither. In mid-distance running, we have David Kramer. Andrew Mancini. In sprints, we have Amar Mayo. Also in sprints, we have Chad Mowbray. Sprints, we have Michael Neiman. Also in sprints, we have Nicholas Page. Next, we have Chase Parkinson. In pole vault, we have Andrew Poos. In throws, we have Jose Rivera. In sprints and jumps, we have William Rivers. In distance running, we have Philip Rogers. We have Elijah Serrano. We also have Jason Shoemaker. Freshman Damian Simpson. Distance runner Cole Smith. Also distance runner Philip Smith. In throws, we have Thomas Smith. In throws, we also have Benjamin Thornton. We have Jason Vo. In sprints, we have Jack Wasserman. And finally, freshman out of Springfield, Delaware County, William Zane. So now on to the coaching staff of the men's track and field team. The director of the track and field and cross country team is Melissa Ferry, which we will talk about shortly. Our assistant coaches to these teams are Pat Mosley and Colin Leake. So just a quick rundown of who Melissa Ferry is to this program and to Westchester University. It's just her second season as the director of the track and field and cross country team. And it's also her 6th season as a collegiate head coach, which is impressive in itself. And it's good to have young coaches with this type of experience gather a program, become the director of these programs, and really push for getting us medals, getting us to tournaments, and putting the best team out there for the Westchester Rams. Melissa is a 7-time PIAA state medalist. She's been an absolute powerhouse of a coach and director of this program. Hence the reason that Westchester has done so well in their past couple years. So now just to talk about their schedule. So this is somewhat of a year-round thing. They'll have tournaments in the fall and in the spring. We're just going to focus on the spring. So February 25th, they had the PSAC championships. And they came in 6th with 11.5 points, and then also came in 6th on Sunday with 46.3 points. As for the Westchester Invitational, this took place March 25th. They spotted third, which is excellent, with 132 points. They would then have the Golden Ram Invitational April 8th, in which they got first with 165.5 points. And we'll talk more about that tournament. So the men's track and field team was a victorious team at Westchester University hosting their event. And there's a lot of pressure when hosting your own event. You know, a lot of teams are coming into your ground, into your university, onto your fields, onto your tracks, and they're trying to take you out. And it's a lot of pressure, but obviously the Westchester men's team stood very strong. They got first place. They cruised to the finish line. And it really looks like as the year progresses, they've gotten more confident as a team. They're obviously all in amazing shape for long distance running, sprinting, doing throws, pole vault, javelin, etc. So it's been great to see this team develop throughout the couple months here of 2023. They also had the Bill Butler Invitational, which they hosted the following week, April 15th, which just passed. And out of 18 teams, they got second out of the 18. So another just excellent job there. Their next invitationals coming up and they have a busy schedule coming up, but that is for sure. There will not be another home game, unfortunately, this year. If you want to see the team, it would have to be a little bit of a travel. So they will play April 22nd on Saturday. They will play Hopkins Loyola Invitational, which is run by John Hopkins. It's Baltimore, Maryland is the location of that. April 29th, the Paul Kaiser Invitational in Shippensburg will be the following event, April 29th. Then it'll be a back-to-back invitational, a 2-day invitational, Friday and Saturday. It's the Lock Haven University Invitational. That takes place on May 5th and May 6th, creeping up on finals week for us students. And then to finish it off, it's the PSAC Championships, the end-of-the-year tournament. And this is where, you know, everyone's going to be putting their best foot forward. All teams are going to give their best, get themselves in the best shape they possibly can, and really try and compete for a PSAC championship, being PSAC champions and trying to get onto the national stage and make a run at a national championship. So the PSAC championships will take place May 11th, which is a Thursday. And then it will also take place May 12th, the Friday, and then May 13th, the Saturday. So now just a little bit more about the coaches of the men's track and field team. I know I briefly talked about Melissa Ferry, who is the head coach and director, but let's talk about Pat Mosley, assistant coach, and specifically focuses on throws. So Patricia is a 14-year assistant coach with Westchester. She joined the Westchester University track and field staff in 2004-2005, and she holds the USA Track and Field Level 1 and 2 certificates, as well as the USTFCCCA Throws Coach Event Specialist certification. This is a 20-year coaching span for Patricia Mosley. Absolutely stunning what she's been able to do. And while at Westchester, has coached 3 all-time All-American Hall of Fame standout Nicole James. She was in shot put and disc throw. So she's been with some of the top athletes over these decades of years of coaching here at Westchester. She's seen it all. She's been a huge part of watching some of these students grow as people, going from high school track and field to Division II level to competing at a very high level as a senior. She's seen it all. She's been there. The other assistant coach is Colin Leake. So Colin's an assistant coach. He joined the Rams track and field coaching staff for the spring season as listed by Melissa Ferry, the head coach and director. He was a former USA distance standout. He was a University of Michigan coach. He will be responsible for the distance crew at Westchester. So any long distance running, long distance being, 5,000 meters, not the 100-meter dash, not the 400-meter, more so past 800 meters, we're talking 12 plus laps around the track and more. And he's the guy to do it. As for Melissa Ferry, she's a very trustworthy coach and director, and she trusts Colin Leak with her heart. She obviously selected him, wanted him to be the distance coach and assistant, and it all worked out. And that's why the men's track and field team has been on a little bit of a heater as of recently. They've been in the top 3 in their last 2 outings. They have a bunch of invitationals coming up, and then they'll have the PSAC championships also coming up. So that is the men's track and field team. So for this episode, the way we're going to end it is we're going to leave a little bit of excitement for the next video, I will say. So one thing we will do is we're going to have a few options. It will be a surprise episode 8, and the few options are going to be the swimming and diving team, the tennis team, the cross country team, the field hockey team, the lacrosse team, and the volleyball team. So out of all those, I'm going to select just one for episode 8. And, as the episodes start to dwindle down, we're not going to be able to do every sport, unfortunately. We're not going to be able to squeeze in everyone's rosters, everyone's schedule, what to look forward to, backgrounds of players and coaches. We're unfortunately not going to be able to do every sport. So it's going to be tough to select. Like I said, tennis, swimming and diving, gymnastics, field hockey, lacrosse. It's going to be a difficult decision to make on which ones to cover. And sometimes it's not always covering the most popular sports. Sometimes it's not always covering, the sports that most people play or played when they were younger or most people enjoy watching. Sometimes it's about covering the opposite, covering the sports that people are unsure about, covering the sports that they haven't seen live at Westchester in stadium or on a field. Teams like the swimming and diving team, I'm sure many students haven't heard a lot in the Westchester media about the swimming and diving team. And I know I'm a big advocate for Westchester University sports. I did play on the baseball team freshman year, and I like to support these programs because some of these programs aren't getting the support they deserve. And I want everyone to notice the talent level it takes to be not only just an amazing swimmer or diver, not only an amazing tennis player, but to also do that while being an amazing student, being an amazing person on campus. It's not easy. I know I played freshman year and I couldn't do it. Freshman year, I played baseball for the first year, and I obviously wasn't going to get too much playing time as a freshman. And with school and homework and practices, and it's like 2 full-time jobs. And these student athletes are, superhuman in that they get everything organized. They stay true to their talent, passion. They stay strong with the books, and they're all supportive of each other. And our university needs to support them right back, without question. So that does it for episode 8 or episode 7 here of Around the Arena. I'm sorry. On episode 8, we will be talking about a team that I will not disclose, but we will add in a new feature, and that is going to be Trivia of Westchester. So the first 10 minutes of the podcast will consist of typical rosters, scheduling, background of coaches and players, but in the last 5 minutes of the podcast, I'm going to put together a trivia lesson, and it's going to be a multiple choice trivia show, just a 5-minute segment of a few questions about Westchester University sports, whether it's previous athletes, whether it's accomplishments, how many championships does this team have, how many wins does this team have, etc. Just something to add a little bit extra to this segment. So thank you for listening to episode 7 here of Around the Arena. I am your host, Zachary Kennedy, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.